Sunday said the alleged report is largely laced with partisan interest and not authored by the governor. According to the statement, the intention was to drag the governor into unnecessary declarations despite public knowledge of his position as the chairman of the Southern Governors Forum. The statement restated Governor Akwedelu's position on the need for the South to produce the next president of the country in the spirit of equity and fairness. It urged members of the APC and supporters to disregard the statement as it does not represent the collective decision of the Southern Governors Forum, which Governor Akwedelu leads. While the Ondo State chapter of All Progressives Congress, APC, has refuted claims that there are political appointees on the state list sent to the national headquarters in Abuja. Chairman of the chapter, Mr. Ade Adetimehin, dismissed the list as fake and misleading. Adetimehin, in a statement by the party's publicity secretary, said political appointees earlier included in the delegate list had been replaced in full compliance with the Electoral Act. He called on party stakeholders to disregard the report of coming presidential primary. Candidate of the PDP in the February 26 Akure North and South Federal Constituency by-election, Olumuyiwa Adu, has been given 3 days to present his case before Justice Obadigo-led tribunal sitting in Akure, the Ondo State capital. With this deadline, Adu is therefore expected to open his case on June 6 and close June 8. The three-man tribunal fixed the date after the counsel to the petitioner Olumide Ogidon demanded 3 days to present his case with 15 witnesses, adding that he had formulated issues for the determination of the case. The first and second respondent, Mayokun Alade, and the All Progressives Congress, APC, each requested 2 days to prosecute their cases, prompting the tribunal to fix 13, 14, 15, and 16th June to present and close their cases. Their counsel, Olawole Abiola and Bankole Alabi, said they will deploy 20 witnesses and 42 certified public documents to prosecute their case, while the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has 1 day to present its case. Following the council agreement, Chairman of the Tribunal, Justice Obadigo, adjourned sitting till June 6, 7, and 8 for the petitioner to open and close his case. The petitioner, Olumuyiwa Adu of the PDP, is praying the tribunal to declare him winner of the February 26 Akure North and South Federal Constituency by-election or cancel the poll. But counsel to Alade and APC urged the tribunal to dismiss the petition for incompetence and fundamentally defective. As preparation peak for the APC convention to unfold the ruling party's standard bearer for the 2023 polls, the desire of the incumbent Muhammadu Buhari to pick a successor has stirred comment from Nigerians. President Buhari, who seems to be encouraged by the popular saying that success without successor is a failure, told the APC governors at a meeting some days ago that he should be allowed to call the shots. Joy Pius samples public perception about the president's wish list to the governors.
At a meeting with the APC governors on who brandishes the flag of the party in the 2023 general election at the State House in Abuja, the president declared, in a few days, the party will be holding its convention, during which primaries would take place to pick the presidential flag bearer for the 2023 general elections. This is a very significant process, and its outcome should prove to the world the positive quality of the APC regarding democratic principles, culture, as well as leadership. The president said the objective of the party to clinch victory through a credible candidate who would give the Nigerian masses a sense of belonging and confidence even before the elections must not be compromised. Referring to governors' freedom to choose their successors, the president emphasized, I wish to solicit the reciprocity and support of the governors and other stakeholders in picking my successor, who would fly the flag of our party for election into the office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in 2023. The president's pronouncements have set tongues wagging. While some believe it is undemocratic, others say democratic process should be allowed to thrive.
It's very discouraging, like a president telling us like he wants to choose somebody else, and we say we are in democracy, so they should allow us like choose and vote for somebody that we feel like and that we think it is worthwhile to be in the position.
By consultation, he may come out with somebody good, but for me, democracy is all about voting, choosing who to represent you, not a single person choosing who to represent us.
If already have somebody in mind now, that means what is the future of the youth? Because the youth hold the future.
Generally, Buhari is not supposed to contest anything or to choose anything because he have let all Nigerians down.
Buhari government have a lot of flaws which people don't condone. So I don't think people will be happy enough for the outgoing president to select someone that will represent him, because he can't select someone out of his own likeness. He will actually select someone that he sees that is in line with his modus operandi.
As it is now, whoever will strike the right chord in President Buhari is still in the realm of guess amid deadlock negotiations between the president and the state's governors, who are not too inclined to concede a blank check to President Buhari to write the name of preferred candidates and barring last-minute change. The lead on the APC presidential standard bearer will be blown open latest by Tuesday next week. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
Ondo State Executive Council says safety measures will no longer be compromised in setting up of petrol and gas stations in the state. The decision was among other resolutions finalized at the council's weekly meeting presided over by Governor Oluwatimi Akeredolu. The council also gave deadline to public servants who are yet to be fully vaccinated to comply on or before Wednesday next week. Government House correspondent Wahab Bankole has details.
The Ondo State Executive Council says unvaccinated public servants have on or before Wednesday, 8th of June 2022 to take COVID-19 jab or denied entry into their workplaces. The decision was reached at the weekly council meeting presided over by Governor Oluwatimi Akeredolu. Special advisor to the governor on health, Professor Francis Faduyile, said only 16% of eligible population in Ondo State have been fully vaccinated and about 30% partially vaccinated. He urged residents to keep their environment clean against the Lassa fever infection.
The council believes that every person in Ondo State should be fully vaccinated. The state government has directed its searchlight on civil servants in Ondo State, in our ministries, departments and agencies, and has directed that every civil servant who works in these facilities must produce a certificate to show that they have received the 2 doses of the COVID-19 vaccine as well as the booster doses.
The Commissioner for Infrastructure, Lands and Housing, Mr. Raimi Aminu, said council commended the presentation of certificate of occupancy to pioneer beneficiaries under the Home Ownership Charter of Ondo State, HOCOS scheme.
The EXCO passed a resolution that before you can get your building plan, building approval, you must obtain your title document, be you CFO, be you conveyance, or whatsoever. Anything short of that, building approval will no longer be granted in Ondo State. And you cannot be complaining again because to get your CFO is within shortest days. In
a bid to end indiscriminate floating of petrol and gas stations, Council approved the implementation of safety measures recommended by the Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development.
The ministry went into action, so we have undergone the inventory, which was reported back to the council, and graciously the council approved the inventory of all filling stations and gas stations through Ondo State.
The Commissioner for Regional Integration and Diaspora Relations, Mrs. Bamidele Ademola Olateju, reiterated Governor Akeredolu's administration commitment to prioritize the well-being of residents. Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
The controversy over the state of school shuttle buses in Ondo State has been described as needless, as government insisted that none was taken out of all designated council areas. Special advisor to Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu on transport, Mr. Tobi Ogunleye, refuted the insinuation in some quarters that the buses have been taken to Imo State by the wife of the governor, Betty Ayawa Akeredolu. Mr. Ogunleye, at a media chat, appealed to Nigerians, particularly politicians, to desist from making false claims.
With pandemic called COVID-19, knocked the entire world into a knees. All sectors were affected. The shuttle buses operation of Ondo State Ministry of Transport was never spared. We have been following a lot of lies on the social medias. I want to say categorically, the buses are there.
Mr. Ogunleye said except for the 4 buses burnt during the EndSARS protest in Okitipupa, the rest are intact. Ondo State has a total of 90 shuttle buses distributed among major towns such as Ondo City 14, Owo 10, Ikare-Akoko 8, Idonre 7, and Ile-Oluji 3. Other towns are Okeigbo 2, Bolorunduro 2, Igbokoda 3, Irele 5, Okeagbe 4, Ore 4, and Araro-Miobo 3.
With the rate, the current prevailing cost of diesel, it cannot be sustained. From 256 or 255 naira per liter, now 750 to 900, at times 1,000. We need to come together as parents. We are going to come up with a more decisive resolution that will be useful for the return of the shuttle buses.
The special advisor asked anyone with evidence of the vehicle's relocation to Imo State to prove to the world.
The report was presented by Zaid Aribisala. The Ondo State Ministry of Education, Science and Technology has released the timetable for the 2022 state examinations. Entrance examination into the state unity secondary schools will hold on Saturday, 11th June 2022, while the common entrance examination into the state public secondary schools will hold on Saturday, 2nd July 2022. A statement by head of the Information and Media Unit of the Ministry, Meshak Olalua, says accreditation of candidates for both examinations at designated centers begins by 8 a.m. in the morning, while examinations will commence by 9 a.m. The statement also adds that the Basic Education Certificate Examination (BEC) for JSS 3 students will hold from Tuesday 12th of July to Tuesday 19th of July 2022, while the Joint SS2 Promotion Examination will take place between Wednesday 20th of July and Tuesday 2nd of August 2022. All candidates are to come to the examination centers with their registration slips and writing materials. 2 suspected herdsmen alleged to have killed a farmer in Ajowa area of Akoko last year have been arraigned before the Ondo State High Court sitting in Accra, the state capital. 22-year-old Babuga Malam and 18-year-old Manu Abubakar were said to have hacked to death Adedayo Festus on his farm at Ajowa in Akoko Northwest local government area on February 5, 2022. The suspects were arraigned on 2 counts of conspiracy to murder and murder of the farmer. The offences, contrary to the punishable section 324 of the Criminal Code Law, Cap 32 laws of Ondo State 2006. When the statement of offence was read to the defendant, they pleaded not guilty to the charges in the case between them and the state. The prosecuting counsel, Akim Bosade, told the court that a witness was not present in court and therefore prayed for the adjournment of the case. Counsel to the defendant, Obafemi Bawa, said the suspects, who were minors at the time of the offence, could not have had the courage to kill as alleged.
they have been taken and they pleaded not guilty. So it is for the state now to assemble their witnesses in the next adjourned date for them to establish their matter or their case against the defendant. As at the time they were led to have committed the offense, they have not attained the age of 18 years. You can see that they look more of a minor. They look more of a minor, but we have not gotten to that stage. By the time we get there, then we will address the court on that note.
Olamide has adjourned the case till August the 2nd for airing. No fewer than 1 million residents of Ondo State will benefit from the Millennium Eye Care Service of the Lions Clubs International Foundation from 2022 to 2025. The four-phase intervention of the foundation in Ondo State includes the structural upgrade of the Millennium Eye Center in Akure, procurement of state-of-the-art equipment, training of optometrists and outreach programs across the 18 local government areas of Ondo State. Osrc's Zaid Aribisala reports that facilitator of the intervention and immediate past council chairperson of Lions Clubs International Nigeria, Tokunbo Jegede, said the move became imperative to forestall avoidable blindness among people.
According to a World Health Organization (WHO) report, about 2.2 billion people globally have visual impairment, where at least 1 billion of the cases could have been prevented or is yet to be addressed. In Nigeria, an estimated 1.13 million individuals aged 40 are reported to be currently blind, while 4.25 million adults are virtually impaired or blind. Recognizing the increasing spate of visual impairment, particularly in rural communities, spurred the immediate past president of Lions Club International, Multiple District 44, Nigeria, Mr. Tokunbo Jegede, to facilitate a free medical outreach tagged the Millennium Eye Care Service for Ondo State in January 2022. Mr. Jegede noted that the foundation's intervention covers the upgrading of Millennium Eye Center facility structure, procurement of equipment, and training of optometrists, among others.
So for the first time, Ondo State will have a strong database for sight services, for eye care services. It's a complete turnaround for the eye care services of Ondo State. That, at the end of the day, is what we seek to. And equally to all those downtrodden people in the rural areas who cannot afford to go to hospitals on their own, who cannot afford medical care, who cannot afford to go to eye clinics for checkups and the like, are now opportune to come free of charge for 4 years, quarterly, to have free services.
Designed to take place quarterly for the next 4 years, the outreach coordinator, Dr. Kofurola Jegede, said the exercise is built for designated basic health care centers across the 18 local government areas of the state.
The minimum we see for 1 or 2 local governments that were not adequately prepared, we have people about 150 at minimum, and we have the maximum at about 450. So average of 250, 300 across the entire local government, and with that education, and I think that the services has been very beneficial to the entire people of Ondo State.
Residents of Ondo State who visited the Okejebu Basic Health Center for the second quarter outreach in Akure South local government were subjected to visual acuity test and medical consultation.
Some people, they believe when something happened to them concerning their eye, their belief is that maybe it is not curable, or maybe there is no way out. Then we screen them. We know those who we need referral to higher center, and those who we just give advice, and those people who we just treat at this point.
The beneficiaries appreciated the intervention of Lions Club International Foundation, describing it as important to their well-being.
I find it difficult to read the small alphabets, but when it is, if it is so far away, I will not be able to read. But now that just to check, I have checked it, and then they are giving me and refer me.
Very fast. Didn't even waste my time. I did some tests outside before I came in, and immediately I got to him. He has done his test, and they asked me to go further to the state hospital to go for the next step.
They asked me to go and buy the drug that they gave to me in this list, that if I use it, that it will be, my hands will be okay.
As the upgrade of Millennium Eye Center at the University of Medical Sciences Teaching Hospital Akure Complex is set for commissioning in the next few weeks, the message of no more avoidable blindness continue to top priority of the outreach. Sahid Aribisala, Osrc News.
Still talking health matters, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control (NCDC) says 21 cases of monkeypox from 9 states and the FCT have been recorded in the last 5 years. 15 incidents were captured as of April 30, 2022, while the other 6 were reported between that time and May 29, with 1 fatality. In these reports, Joy Pius takes a look at the outbreak of monkeypox, its symptoms and prevention.
Caused by the West African clade monkeypox virus, the disease was first identified in humans in 1970 in the Democratic Republic of Congo in a 9-month-old boy, in a region where smallpox had been eliminated in 1968. Since then, most cases have been reported from rural rainforest regions of the Congo Basin, and human cases have increasingly been reported from across Central and West Africa. In Nigeria, 9 states have witnessed outbreak of the virus. Adamawa has had 5 cases, Lagos 4, Bayelsa 2, Delta 2, Cross River 2, FCT 2, Kano 2, Imo 1, and Rivers 1. In all of these, 1 death has been reported. Notwithstanding the deadly nature of the disease, many are oblivious of its surge.
They say monkeypox. I heard it before. One of my medical persons says that it's in the state, but I don't know much about that.
Fẹ́ni Ondo state o, débi tó pé Àkúrẹ́ gan rárá àti ẹ̀fẹ́ rárá, Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kó wọ ọ̀dọ̀ wa o. Ní tó bá dẹ̀ ní àwọn tó bá ní nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, kó tètè jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn mọ̀, so that wọ́n á lè tè mọ̀ bó ṣe máa sá fún wọn, àbí kán isolate wọn.
Kan yẹn á so sí ara, á so gidigidi sí ara. Mi wá lè sọ bóyá yẹn náà pè ní monkey.
A molecular scientist at the Unimed Teaching Hospital, Akure, Mr. Joseph Olawale, explained the symptoms of monkeypox and preventive measures.
There's a particular sign of illness that first begin. Number 1, then the affected fellow will feel fever. Every part of the body and joint will be paining. Then back ache will also involve. That is one of the signs. There will be an headache, complaint of headache, then muscle ache. When you discover someone has this type of virus disease, what we do is that you have to prevent yourself of coming in contact, prevent direct contact. When you prevent yourself from direct contact, then you are safe. Then number 2, avoid using the article that the affected person has used. When the symptoms and sign is detected in the particular client, so it is advisable to come to clinic where it can be properly managed.
The Permanent Secretary, Ondo State Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Dr. Francis Akombiemo, said although there have been no reports of a disease in Ondo State, health workers have been put on high alert to address a possible occurrence and hinted of plans to sensitize the people on the virus.
As far as the state government is concerned, all the health workers have been put on alert to look out for any suspected cases, because those cases, the first thing to do is what we call high index of suspicion. You must see any case that have such skin rashes as a suspected case of monkeypox until proven otherwise. We have also begun to educate them on the signs and symptoms of this disease, what they need to do to protect themselves.
As the virus continues to spread to other parts of the world, Nigeria Center for Disease Control has urged healthcare workers to maintain a high index of suspicion for monkeypox and report any suspected case to the relevant state epidemiology team for prompt intervention. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
And now to sport, Sunshine Stars B team have advanced to the semi-final of Ondo State Football Association Cup for following a 3-1 win over Emalek's Football Club, Owo. Yusuf Olayinka, Pius Ojo and Promise Orji scored for the winners, while Emalek's only goal by Ayomide Ayola came from the penalty spot in its 7th minute. In the semi-final, Sunshine B side will take on Akure City on Wednesday, while Ekimogun FC of Ondo will trade tackles with Sunshine Stars or FNJFC on Thursday. The finalists will represent Ondo State at the ITO Cup later in the year. And that's it on Sunshine Report. Thanks for watching. Good afternoon.